May 25th, 1965. Two heavyweights of boxing are facing each other for the second time. And you're about to witness a decisive moment that will transcend the world of sport and become one of the most iconic images of the 20th century.
Did you see the punch? Did you see? Did you see the punch?
A fleeting gesture that will encapsulate an entire career and inspire a generation. Using a Rolleiflex with a sport finder with some coloured slide film, Neil Leifer captured a photo that will define his career. Ali towering over Liston, centre frame demands Liston to get up and fight sucker. This image stood the test of time as a perfect epitomization of who Muhammad Ali was in his boxing prime. If you wanted to compose an iconic photo, you couldn't do much better than this one. The composition was sheer luck on Leifer's part. From this perspective, it feels like we are on the canvas with Liston. The presence of Ali and his magnitude towering over both Liston and us. The angle is the classic hero shot. This empowers Ali and quite literally puts him head and shoulders above the rest of us. It's the perfect summation of the legend he would go on to become.
You look
strange feeling coming on your show in my robe.
You seem quite reserved tonight. What?
I've been studying UFOs. Did you know there are UFOs out here flying around, unidentified objects?
This would be the place for him, Southern California.
Ali is framed by this blackish-bluish negative space that is almost like it's studio conditions. It's all the cigar smoke and strobe flashes combining to create sheer atmosphere and drama. This look was extremely common for the time in sports photography as an accidental consequence of being allowed to smoke indoors. The richness and the colour that's so unique to slide film helps this image stick in our minds, and what makes this image so memorable when compared to black and white photos from that night. This image is a great example of a decisive moment, but Leifer wasn't even aware he caught the image at the time. This was a photographer who was fully absorbed in the moment. Leifer's career features many iconic photos, particularly in the golden age of boxing. His top-down aerial shots brought an entirely new perspective to boxing. His career took him all around the world, and his images have featured in over 200 issues of Sports Illustrated, Life and Time magazine. This photo is iconic in its own right, but what adds to its status is the history and context it was taken in. This knockout was mired in much controversy, with accusations that the punch was a phantom punch and Liston faked his knockout. How the bout was rigged, but much like their first meeting where Ali, then known as Cassius Clay, beat Liston, much to the surprise of the sporting world.
Public, everybody's talking now. Don't nobody want me. Don't nothing but a fool want to fight me. And the public knows you can't pick a man in the world to whoop me.
Upon replay, the accusations about the punch seemed to fall short, but the narratives that surround both boxers probably fueled the fire's conspiracy. Liston had previous links to crime, and there was much debate around his actual age. Ali was front and centre in the civil rights movement, which was in full flow in America at the time. And it was a time where black people in certain parts of America were treated by a different set of laws to white citizens. Ali wasn't afraid to air his beliefs, and some of his statements even put him at odds with his fellow civil rights activists. His outspoken and confident personality also led him to speak about his opponents to deliberately provoke them. And this made Ali's interviews a spectacle not seen in the sporting world, and it really was decades ahead of anyone else. So these two complex sportsmen who had supporters and haters on both sides were always going to have a fight that was going to cause a stir one way or another. If you enjoy these videos, you might be wondering how I make them, especially the animations. I use Adobe Creative Cloud. That means that all the tools I use for photography, graphic design and video editing are included in one subscription. Creative Cloud makes it easy to move between apps and keep settings consistent across projects. For me, it's a no-brainer. I rely on After Effects, Illustrator and Photoshop for both client work and personal projects. It includes a range of professional grade, industry standard tools all under one roof. If you're a creative juggling multiple roles, whether that's shooting, designing, editing or animating, having all your tools in one place is a game changer. Right now, Adobe has some great deals on their subscription packages, meaning you can start creating for less. Check the link in the description below to find out more. I think the key lesson from this image is about being fully present and ready when the moment happens. Neil Leifer said he doesn't even remember taking the shot. He was completely immersed in that flow state. He wasn't second guessing his settings or stressing about whether he had the right ISO film. He trusted his gear and, more importantly, he trusted his instincts. His experience meant he could shift into a creative mindset when it mattered instead of getting stuck in a technical one. That applies not just to photography, but to anything creative. When we remove those barriers and anxieties, and we've practiced enough, we can enter that flow state where we act on instinct and impulse, not overthinking. It's the same mindset musicians tap into when they improvise, or athletes when they produce those moments of brilliance. That's something out of nothing. So the moral is, the more you shoot, the more comfortable you become with your tools, and that clears your mind for what really matters.